If you could have a guide, someone to help you tell your story, give you the tools to reach your ideal customer, lead you to living your dreams and turning a profit, would you follow it? Everyone, every passion has a place in this world, and each has the potential to be unstoppable. It's time to buckle up and tune in to your personal strategist, life purpose coach and marketing maven, Lindy Chaffin Start.
Hello. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Welcome to the studio. Thank you for joining me on Unstoppable today. You're listening to Lindy Chaffin Start, and we are going to talk about all of the creative and timely event advertising you can imagine. So you're invited, and I hope you've accepted this invitation because events are huge for small businesses, medium-sized businesses, and super large businesses. So we've got lots to talk about. Before we get started with that, I just want to quickly introduce myself. I am Lindy Chaffin Start, owner and creative director, marketing maven, design guru, whatever you want to call me, here at Unstoppable Start Studios, where we provide pillar to post anything a business could need, utilize in their marketing. Everything from strategy and consultation, branding, design, print, digital, social media, campaigns, promotional products, print, advertising, media buying, IP targeting, SMS marketing, all of it. Anything you could possibly need, we've got it, and we've got the strategy to go along with it. So that is what we do here, and it's one of the reasons I wanted to talk to you about events today. And there is a special event today that we should actually talk about too, and that is, and she's not listening, or maybe she is, but it's Christine McIver's birthday today. So I just wanted to take a minute and say or sing, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Christine. Happy birthday to you. I was going to do it like Marilyn Monroe and make you El Presidente, but I can't do that. So I hope you have a fantastic birthday, my sweet friend. For those of you who don't know Christine McIver, McIver is a co-host here on ICM, but she's also owner and El Presidente of the station here at Inspired Choices Network. So if you'd like to become a host, or if you have something to say or want to join one of our shows as a guest, reach out. I'm sure she'd be happy to help. So there you go. Happy birthday, girl. Now, events. That is a super special event. And I noticed on Facebook that Christine has actually invited people to come play with her. She's put out a birthday special. She's put out a birthday event, a celebration. And I think that's just a fantastic way to do it. What we're going to talk about today is like hosting a seller event if it's successful if people show up. And we want people to show up. We want to give them something to show up for. So creating that event, and you're probably, if you're a small business owner, thinking, well, what the heck kind of event can I have? I just have this little brick and mortar store. We're going to use our coffee empanadas and leather purses examples again. I just have these leather purses. What kind of event could I have? Events can be many things. They can be brick and mortar store sales, grand openings. They can be digital sales and grand openings. Events are easy to create. They can be ginormous trade shows where multiple vendors come in to reach a particular audience. They can be celebrations of some sort. There's lots of opportunity, product launches, new classes. I'm thinking about cycling. I'm thinking about, I have one therapist client in Decatur who provides, primarily therapy to young people, but they do these sort of workshop retreats lock-in type things for young girls where they can all kind of get together and play and party and kind of therapize all at the same time. And their event marketing is somewhat strategic in that they focus on where the parents of these young girls, because they're too young to be in the mix of things and to want to understand the importance of coming up in today's society and what that takes, and communicating clearly with people in person as well as via text or social media channel, and how, all of that can feed their insecurities and negative beliefs about themselves. That's kind of what they're helping them overcome. So they're targeting parents of these girls in the Decatur area, in the surrounding Decatur area. And these events have been highly successful for them. So, like I say, there's just lots of different ways to go about this. I have classes that I offer here locally. So that would be an event that I would advertise. Hey, classes are coming up in August and September on your social media strategy, on your marketing mix. Those are events that you'll see me advertise for well in advance. And I think if any of you have read Emily Post, if any of you took cotillion as a young person, you understand the rules of the invitation game. They kind of apply to event advertising as well as personal events. So you want to send, like a wedding invitation, you would want to send at least 2 months out. A birthday party, you would send 2 weeks out. Like, it's a little bit different, right? But the big events, you want 2 months out, even if it's just to save the date 2 months out, and then the actual invitation requiring an RSVP in a shorter time frame, like 2 weeks, a month out. But you want to make sure to get in front of your people early on and get them signed up for this event. And then once they're signed up and you're capturing their data, you can respond to them on a more personal level via email, via print, whatever you need once they register, right? It's very, very important to stay in front of them with the event and kind of keep teasing them, because the point of it is that you want people to show up. So, doesn't that sound like a huge undertaking? It's really not. If you plan it like you would plan your wedding, you're going to have a great event. You're going to have great offerings. You're going to have great music. You're going to have the dance floor, great hors d'oeuvres and wine and non-alcoholic beverages as well, if you prefer. So it's about putting the right event together and then bringing people to the event. And it's the starting point, that batter's box is right there in the event. Have that event. Know what you're trying to accomplish with your event. Know what your intent is. Know what your message is. And that's kind of what we're going to talk through today. So let's just kind of dive right on in. What we want to do is create an event campaign that actually draws participation. We kind of have this idea that we're going to send the save the date, the actual invite, a couple of months out. We're at least going to start our advertising a couple of months out. Okay? It's a great way to promote your brand identity. You want to invite your target audience to interact with your brand on a personal level. So let's come up with a really good example. So let's talk about the launch of this coffee line. We've been kind of talking about that off and on all year. We have a landing page, we have ads out there, we have campaigns that are out targeting people. One of the things that we can do to start with is take the customer base or the group of people who have already shown interest. Hey, we would like a free sample of your coffee. We would like to know if this is something that we're going to enjoy. They have signed up to receive this coffee, right? They've gotten a sample in advance. So how are you going to reach out to these people and let them know that you have an event coming up? And I know I'm kind of going off in little tangents here and there, but and just thinking specifically about the coffee line. You want to build your brand awareness. You want to increase sales by doing this. You want to build a loyal consumer base. Hosting the event is only successful if people show up. So it's essential to understand your event advertising. So we're going to look at 5 different ways to draw participation and skyrocket conversions through this event advertising, okay? First things first, like I said with the coffee line, we have already advertised this coffee line. Now, who are our primary coffee drinkers that we're trying to target? Well, I'm going to roll that into, we're going to reach out to Gen X. They're going to be those folks who are on Facebook. It's an easy thing. That's where we're going to start. Those are the people we want to start with. Now, we might push this out for the event onto Instagram. I doubt we would do anything with Pinterest. We would definitely do some LinkedIn stuff because we have some LinkedIn contacts that we want to show up. We want to be representative of our brand as well. Corporate contacts, people we want to try. So there's that. Okay, so knowing your target audience is step 1. So with all of your marketing objectives, you know you need to clearly identify your target audience. We've talked about audience profiles before. It's a huge part of any marketing endeavor. Like in my business, I provide so much, but I provide so much to multiple areas, multiple types of businesses. I want to learn about people's businesses. So I've worked in everything from dental bits, diamond dental bits, with therapists, with, oh my gosh, I've got apartment complexes, people all over the country, allergists and immunologists. I've even worked with appliance repair folks, like people of all types, all walks of life. If I desired to work with yoga studios, I would want to create a campaign for that audience. I'm not going to try to reach out to yoga studio owners with just a generic campaign. It doesn't work that way. So when it comes to your events, know your target audience. Create those profiles. If you want to target a specific segment of your audience for an event, cool. That is awesome. Do it. It is okay. It doesn't have to be for everybody. It can just be, hey, for therapists in Atlanta. Hey, I'm teaching a class to therapists in Atlanta. Bring me your website. Bring me your questions. Let's talk about what you're doing to make your brand successful. Let's make sure that Google is finding you. Let's make sure that your SEO is tight. Let's make sure that your Psychology Today profiles and any of your Facebook and LinkedIn profiles are all concise and exact across every platform. Let's make sure that people can read you and there's a call to action. You know what I'm saying? So you can kind of get where I'm going with this. We want to make sure that we know which audience we're trying to target for which event. So I'll be teaching classes in August and September at Jay's Kitchen here in Atlanta. And those classes are targeted specifically to chefs. And we're opening it to the general public if anybody's interested, but the content of that class will be about marketing for their small culinary business. Does that help? Okay. So you guys, we are busy talking today already about creating an event campaign that draws participation. When we come back, we're going to talk about 4 more tips that can help you. We'll be right back. You're listening to Unstoppable on the Inspired Choices Network.
We all wish we had a few extra hours and a few less things to do in our hurried days. By tuning into Unstoppable, hosted by life purpose coach and marketing maven Lindy Chaffin Start, you'll hear success stories of how other entrepreneurs have uncovered their passions and learned to live a balanced, purposeful life. You'll receive tips and tools to market and grow your business, wrangle the chaos, and design the life you've dreamt of. Learn how to be unstoppable by tuning in to InspiredChoicesNetwork.com every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central Time, 11 a.m. Mountain Time, and 10 a.m. Pacific Time. Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. This is Unstoppable with life purpose coach and marketing maven Lindy Chaffin Start. If you have a question about marketing your small business or finding balance as an entrepreneur, or you're just trying to get up the courage to do your own thing, let Lindy know. You can call in the U.S. 815-880-8255, Canada 613-800-8736, or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. Now, back to Unstoppable.
And welcome back. Thank you so much for being with me today. You are listening to Lindy Chaffin Start and Unstoppable on Inspired Choices Network. Before we roll back into our 5 ways to draw participation and skyrocket conversions through your event advertising, let me just say, if you have questions about an upcoming event, you'd like to talk it through, if you are curious about event advertising or maybe ways that you can draw people in to your event, please feel free to pick up the phone and call me at 404-245-7474 or reach out via the website, which is www.unstoppablestart.com. Like any small business, we are going through a few growing pains. We're in the process of rebuilding our website here at the studio. And those of you who know me know that it's impossible to wrap your head around your own creative. At least it is for me. Every creative I've ever met in my life has the same struggle. So it's taking a little bit of time, so bear with us as we continue to build this awesome new site. We hope that we'll give you lots of opportunity to learn and grow your business. Now, back to these keys to success in event advertising. So I'm going to try to slow down and breathe and share this next tip. In addition to knowing your target audience, which we've talked about before, knowing your audience is big across all of your marketing, whether it's for an event or just to grow your brand, share your brand. But the next piece of that is communication. So for this event, we're going to use the coffee line event. Let's do this. So we have a coffee line. It has a landing page. It has not been set up for e-commerce yet because we wanted to generate buzz. Okay. We have on the landing page an offer to sign up with your name and address, and we'll send you a sample of coffee. So let's start here. We have people who have signed up to receive the sample. We know that this is the beginning of our fan base. these people email us on a regular basis, and they are interested in when we're going to launch e-commerce. When can I get more coffee? Where can I buy your coffee? Okay, so we have this initial fan base. So we've decided as we launch our e-commerce site that we're going to have a huge event. We're going to do it at a Decatur farmer's market on a Saturday. We're going to be there so you can meet the creator of the coffee. You can get more free samples. You can purchase the coffee there. And we're going to have extra games and stuff for the kids so that they can be distracted while you talk to the chef owner of this particular business. So we've decided to do this event. Now we're going to go on and reach out via email to our initial fan base. Okay. So you can kind of cross this to just about anything. Anything that you've tried to create buzz for, whether you're launching a business or launching a product, whether you're having some kind of craft show, vendor-specific show, whether you're having a sale, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the type of event, but you're trying to generate buzz. So you're going to reach out to your initial fan base, your initial mailing list, okay? And you're going to email them. Now, if you're lucky enough to be able to collect all of their data, like their physical address, you can also send them a postcard. If you have that kind of client base, like people who sign up to receive information for you, say from you in their brick and mortar or your brick and mortar shop, then cool. You hopefully have been typing those names and addresses and telephone numbers and emails into your database diligently so that when you get ready to do this event advertising, it's all right there. And all you have to do is a mail merge or an email merge. Like there's nothing to it. You want to get out in front of those people first. Now, the reason you want to do that is because your fans are going to share about stuff like that to their friends. So that's going to help grow your base. Now, what you want to do is make sure when you send out these communications that people have an opportunity to not only RSVP for the event, but also visit your website. Give them a call to action to visit your site to get their free sample of coffee in advance, right? To get their 20% off coupon or whatever it is to show up to your event. Okay? Just so you can kind of keep building that base. And if you've got it set up right, super easy to do in any of the email clients, Constant Contact I was working in this morning. You can just set up your forms. People can sign up, and it goes into whatever mailing list you want to go into. Now, I'm going to say, do this right and set this up so that you're capturing where people are coming from. So if you've sent out a communication to your regular customers and you anticipate them sharing with their friends, when their friends go to sign up for this event, you want to know where they're coming from. So you have a list that's X event sign up list. Okay. So you already have your existing customers in one database, and now you've got another list where you're capturing people coming to this specific event. Okay. These are friends. You can use that same list. It's perfectly all right for the rest of your advertising at this point, because what you're going to put out there is the social media stuff. You might do some print stuff. You might do some local stuff. So the biggest thing is communicate. Get their information in advance so you can follow up with reminders and sneak peeks and special promotions and all of that fun stuff. So for the coffee thing, I would definitely be sharing little tidbits along the way. I would be sharing about anything I have available for the kids, because we want the parents, who of course need the coffee, to come out. Anything you have available to meet the chef owner. There's so many foodies on the planet. I have to tell you, when you throw out the term chef owner, They're going to come in droves. They want to meet this person, and they want to know what kind of chef he is, and they want to know. And hey, it's an event, so let's go ahead and make it super interesting and have chef create the perfect Irish coffee right there for you on site. How about we have chef pair up his particular coffee and whatever flavorings? Let's go ahead and say we're going to do an almond milk and a stevia, and let's do a sugar and a milk, and let's pair each of these with, say, a breakfast or a dessert. I know I sound crazy, but I'm giving you other opportunities to get people in the door. You see, the event has to be something that's going to draw your people in. You don't want to lay it out in the initial invitation. You want to let the initial invitation be a teaser, and then once they sign up, you start following up with all these fun little things. Okay? Communicate, communicate, communicate. Clear calls to action are important. You're not just promoting an event, you're promoting an experience. Okay. Next step in this process, get intentional. Get intentional. I love the word because it's all about what I do. From your timing to your design, every detail of your event campaign should serve a purpose. Your event is a way to sell your brand identity, so everything you put in front of your audience needs to work toward that aim. The visuals, the design you use to represent your event can make or break your campaign. What I can tell you is if people can see themselves in the scenario, in the event, enjoying something post-event, if they can see themselves in there, then they're sold. Okay? So because your community is a diverse community, you need to speak to different people in different ways. Your advertising, and we're going to talk demographics for a minute, and this is not always an easy conversation. Okay? But your demographics, your ads can't be all white unless it's an all-white event, but they can't be all white. They just can't be. I don't live in a community that's built on just white folk living, because there's all sorts of folks in this community. And if you're trying to reach out targets, you want to reach them in their specific area. So you have design that speak to African American people. You have designs that speak to Asian Americans. You have designs that speak to Hispanic Americans. You know, there's all of these things that you have to think about. Think about your demographic. Think about how you're going to reach out to those people. And think about where you're going to put things for them to see them. Because we don't always necessarily read the same papers or look at the same social media channels. We don't necessarily always say things the same way. So when we talk about getting intentional, it kind of goes back to that audience and that communication. You get intentional in who you're trying to speak with. And if you are going to keep it generic, and we'll just use the coffee as an example, it's going to be all about the coffee. You know, maybe you're speaking to a parent or somebody who has to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to get to work. Maybe that's your demographic instead. Maybe those are the audience people, the audience members that you're speaking to. But they're still not going to be in the same demographic category. So knowing your product really well and knowing your audience really well are huge. So you want your design, your visuals, you know, they're going to make or break your campaign. Your graphics need to invoke certain emotions, expectations, while captivating your audience and reinforcing your overall brand. It's not necessarily an easy thing to accomplish. So another reason why all us marketing professionals exist in the world. Anyway, we're getting ready to take another quick break. We'll come back and talk more about getting intentional with your event advertising. For now, you are listening to Unstoppable on Inspired Choices Network, and we'll be right back.
We all wish we had a few extra hours and a few less things to do in our hurried days. By tuning into Unstoppable, hosted by life purpose coach and marketing maven Lindy Chaffin Start, you'll hear success stories of how other entrepreneurs have uncovered their passions and learned to live a balanced, purposeful life. You'll receive tips and tools to market and grow your business, wrangle the chaos, and design the life you've dreamt of. Learn how to be unstoppable by tuning in to InspiredChoicesNetwork.com every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central Time, 11 a.m. Mountain Time, and 10 a.m. Pacific Time. This is Unstoppable with life purpose coach and marketing maven Lindy Chaffin Start. If you have a question about marketing your small business or finding balance as an entrepreneur, or you're just trying to get up the courage to do your own thing, let Lindy know. You can call in the U.S. 815-880-8255, Canada 613-800-8736, or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. Now, back to Unstoppable.
And welcome back. You are listening to Unstoppable on Inspired Choices Network, and today we are talking all about event advertising and creating event campaigns that draw participation. When we went to break, we were talking about how to get intentional around all of this. We have already talked about knowing your audience, communicating with your audience, and here we are. We want to make sure that our campaign design is eye-catching, that it invokes the emotion of the people we are trying to target. Slapping together a few pictures isn't enough to grab the attention of your audience. You have to invest in solid graphic design that sends a real message. Now, I'm going to speak to all of you in my generation who grew up using Microsoft Word. We used to think we could design the shit out of stuff in Microsoft Word. Let me tell you, Word is a great program. I used to pull in graphics and break them apart and put them back together again and do all sorts of stuff in Word and PowerPoint. It was super easy to do back in the day. They've kind of cut back on all that now. Nowadays, Word is Word. They give you templates. You look at these templates and you go, oh, that's pretty. That'll work. No. Mm-mm. Please steer clear of that so that you don't look outdated. Actually talk to a graphic designer. We're everywhere. We're everywhere. We can help you. Marketing professionals like myself, maybe we're not all like me. I'm pretty spot on and unusual for what I do. But marketing professionals can help you grow your brand by having the right advertising. We can help you grow your brand by providing design and copy that is spot on, reflective of your brand, your message, your intention, what you want to accomplish with this event. That's why we're here, and we want to see you succeed. That's the whole thing. That's the reason we got into this business, was to help other businesses. There's no other reason. It's not because we want to win awards. Most of us don't care. It might look good on a resume. That's why we do it. But the be-all, end-all for people like me is just seeing your business grow and succeed. So definitely think about what you're trying to accomplish with your event. If it's a larger event, if it's a launch, if you want 150 people to show up out of the blue, then talk to a marketing professional. 150 people is a chunk. 200 people, even better. 300 people, even better. The more names that you can capture, the more data, the more information that you can gather from people who are not familiar with your brand but have come across you and want to get to know you now that they see what you're all about. That's your book of business. Those are your people. Those are your fans. Those are the ones who want your product. They want your service. So create an event that they want to attend. Create advertising that will get them to the event. Don't talk to a professional. I'm not kidding. We can save you money. We're not in it to break the bank. That's not our goal. But if you've created an event, you have a budget. You know what you can spend. Let us help you maximize that. So, we talked about design. Copy, of course, is absolutely of equal importance. There is no way around it. If you know your audience, you know how to speak to them. If it's, you never know. If it's college students and you're trying to sell a particular thing, particular service, particular class, getting in front of them with video and humor and emojis might be the way to go. Using text abbreviations like they would use might be the way to go to get them in the door. It's something to talk about. Might not be exactly the way to go. So don't just assume because I said college student and emoji, that's what you're going to run out and do. That's not necessarily what you want to do. Again, it requires talking to a marketing professional to kind of help you see the overall picture and determine the best way to message that out. Depending on the group that you're trying to get, it might be that video is going to speak to them more loudly than just static imagery. It might be that the time-saving benefits of your program or class or the coupon they'll receive if they come and can purchase it there, it just depends on who you're speaking to, what might appeal to them more. If you have a list that's already segmented out by age group, you are ahead of the game because you can segment people out into generations, as another host here on the network will tell you, Sherry Elliott Urey. She will tell you in a heartbeat that the way you message to the different generations is critical. So, imagery and copy and a powerful call to action will get that ball rolling for you with your event advertising. And then you kind of have to think about the timing, and we kind of did already, like, hey, Emily Post. Smart cookie right there. But you want to make sure you are out there when and where your audience is going to see your message. Okay? So that's going to help you towards building trust around your brand. It's a really big deal. Timing isn't essential in the event promotion necessarily. Coordinating every detail of your event takes dedication and a meticulous plan that will culminate in an event that leaves your audience in awe. So think about what you're offering. Is it just a sale, or are you going to have things there to benefit those who show up to your event? And I want you to think about this like we've talked about marketing in the past. It's almost like providing that valuable content. You don't always want to go into an inbox with a pitch. You want to provide people with something they can sink their teeth into. Right? A speaker, an opportunity to meet and discuss things with the owner and not just a salesperson. How-tos. Like I say, with the coffee event, not only do we have a meet and greet with the owner, who's also a chef, we have that chef in front of people, providing them with ways to use the coffee, the perfect Irish coffee, the perfect way to pair it with milk and sugar and stevia and almond milk and coconut milk, and which one goes best with what dessert and which one goes best with what breakfast. And you want to give people something to sink their teeth into around an event, right? So like for one of my upcoming social media classes, I'll do all sorts of teasers for folks. Not only will they receive information about the event and the things that they will learn as takeaways, but they'll get a copy of my, ebook. I'll print it out for them and give it to them, and it's all about audience targeting and social media and getting in front of the right people at the right time. Right? That's part of the event. But I could also throw out there, hey, if you do sign up for the class, you can get your first half an hour of consulting for free just by coming to the class. So not only do you get to learn from me for 2 hours on a Wednesday evening, you get this PDF that's, anywhere else would be an ebook, but I'm going to print it out for you because I'm nice. And then you get, a code for a half hour of consulting for free. So think about your product. Think about the ways that you can tease your audience. Think about what you're going to offer at the event. Timing, essential timing and communication to get people in the door. Give them the vague invitation up front, save the date, invitation with information, and follow up with more specific stuff. More specific stuff. More specific stuff. Here's why you should come. This is what's going to happen. You'll walk away with 6 new recipes from renowned chef. You see where I'm going? So whether your event involves a speaker, it involves learning something, always share those takeaways. No matter what it is, share the takeaways, because the takeaways are an essential part of, actually, your event advertising. What people are going to take away, what they're going to take home. Does that make sense? Know this. 75% of event attendees see a brand more positively after the event. 75%. So if you had 100 people come to your event, 75% of those people would walk away talking about you. They would see you as a good thing if you've done it. If you've done it well. Be sure to do it well. Don't skimp. And I don't mean don't skimp like don't spend the money. You can do things that are inexpensive for an event. It doesn't have to be, swag bags with Cartier watches. That's not what it's all about. But do it right if you're going to do it. Don't skimp. I wouldn't hand somebody a sample of coffee in a foil frac pack, which is basically what hotels and restaurants use to make giant pots of coffee. They're these little silver mylar-looking bags, individual huge pot of coffee bags. I wouldn't hand somebody that as a sample. Absolutely not. I would make sure, if they were going to get that for freshness, that we had a nice package that looked like our brand packaging, that had our logo, our label, our story, and a little note that said, if you have our frac pack, we want your coffee to be as fresh as possible when you receive it. This is our sample package. It goes into this little craft paper bag with the beautiful label with the red talking about the brand coffee. That's what I'm going to give to you as a sample. Am I going to expect you to take notes on the recipes or how to make the perfect Irish coffee? Absolutely not. I'm going to have handouts available, and guess what those handouts are going to have on them? The web address and a call to action. Order your coffee today. You're kind of getting pillar to post what events are going to look like, right? Anyway, so we're going to take another quick break, and then we'll come back and talk about the last 2 points in this 5 ways to draw participation in Skyrocket Conversations. You are listening to Unstoppable on the Inspired Choices Network, and we'll be right back.
We all wish we had a few extra hours and a few less things to do in our hurried days. By tuning into Unstoppable, Hosted by life purpose coach and marketing maven Lindy Chaffin Start, you'll hear success stories of how other entrepreneurs have uncovered their passions and learned to live a balanced, purposeful life. You'll receive tips and tools to market and grow your business, wrangle the chaos, and design the life you've dreamt of. Learn how to be unstoppable by tuning in to InspiredChoicesNetwork.com every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central Time, 11 a.m. Mountain Time, and 10 a.m. Pacific Time. This is Unstoppable with life purpose coach and marketing maven Lindy Chaffin Start. If you have a question about marketing your small business or finding balance as an entrepreneur, or you're just trying to get up the courage to do your own thing, let Lindy know. You can call in the U.S. 815-880-8255, Canada 613-800-8736, or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. Now, back to Unstoppable.
Well, welcome back. We are in the last few moments of our show this Wednesday afternoon, and we've got 2 tips left to go to create this amazing event advertising. We've talked about your timing. We've talked about your intention. We've talked about, gosh knows, everything else. Your audience, how to communicate with your audience, making sure you speak to specific demographics within your audience. So another piece of this puzzle is the event website. Now, okay, you're thinking, I have a website. I'll just create a page on my website. Okay, that's all well and good. If that's what you want to do, that's cool. Or I'll create an event on my website, or I'll just keep it even simpler and just put a banner on my front page, blah, blah, blah. No. I appreciate simplicity. I really do. But when it comes to your events, you want to make sure that your website is well designed, includes all of your event details, your speaker lineup, if there is one, and social proof of all of this is the best way, the fast way to boost your conversion. So the design that's inspiring and informative and user-friendly, it's a surefire way to boost engagement. Now, insider tip, if you've done an event before and you've captured people's responses to that event in testimonial form, be it on video, be it written, use that in your event website. Use it in your marketing. People love to know that other people have done what they're about to do and they enjoyed it. Don't fake it. If you hadn't done an event before, don't pretend like you have. Don't put stuff out there that's all lies. That's not how you want to be. It's not the best way to get people in the door. But you want to be sure to make the content of your website and your event advertising engaging. You want to give people a reason to come. Okay? Like even even with, like, there's a Baptist church in Decatur who hosts Anne Lamott when she comes to speak. And I've seen Anne. She's amazing. I absolutely love her. I love her as a speaker. And the church is going to fill up every single time, and it's because it's Anne. Period. Every single time. Now, if you've got Anne to your event, more power to you. I applaud you. If you do not, give people a tidbit of what they're going to see. I'm going to use my class as an example. Okay. Had the opportunity on Monday to go to Jay's Kitchen to do a little pre-recording, pre-planning. She has partnered with Hungry, and they are doing some amazing things, Janetta Patton and Hungry, at Jay's Kitchen Culinary Incubator here in Atlanta. And since I'm going to be teaching classes there, I went in to sort of do a prep class. We did all this because Georgia Public Broadcasting had sent in a crew because they wanted to do a show. So my face for radio is now going to be on television. So much fun. Anyway, my daughter, my 11-year-old highly paid summer intern, came and took some behind-the-scenes video. She took video of me teaching a class. I hadn't done that yet, right? I haven't had the opportunity to have somebody record. So as I was standing up there mocking up this class with people sitting in front of me for the GPTV folks, my daughter took video of me teaching the class. So not only did I get to see myself like on camera speak, so I didn't feel quite as foolish as I feel when I'm sitting here on the radio waving my hands around like a batshit crazy person. I saw myself on camera and went, dang, I'm pretty darn engaging. This is really good. I move a lot. It's a lot of frenetic, I got to move. I'm always moving. But now I'm able to take that video and share it on my upcoming class site so people can kind of see what this is all about. And that I do have a sense of humor, and I'm usually caught between I'm super conservative in the way I communicate, very businesslike, and then I'm super stupid and cuss all the time. So, like, how am I supposed to get it across that I'm really smart? Anyway, it's quite funny. So, anyway, use your event website and use those testimonials if you have them. Now, lastly but not leastly, and this is hugely important, make sure your event is shareable. We've already talked about this. If you're reaching out to your existing list, your existing fan base, make sure they have an opportunity to share with their friends. You can actually say, hey, in your emails, do you want to share this with somebody? Make your post public. Do not make them event-specific, audience-specific. Make them public so people can share them. If you do not, there's not a share button there. Okay? Make them shareable. From your event website, make sure you've got social media prompts in there so people can just click and share. They can click and share to their social media pages. Be shareable. You're going to end, be shareable, but continue to give people the opportunity to sign up for future information, event information, registration, what have you. Think about that giant cycle. Draw it down, piece of paper. Arrow goes to here, arrow goes to here, arrow goes to here, arrow goes. I'm really big about mapping stuff out. And you've heard me in audience profiling talking about that. You have a picture of somebody on the wall that looks like X, and you have her profile or his profile underneath him. It's kind of the same with an event. You sit down with the giant piece of paper and the markers and the colored pens, and you start mapping out what this thing's going to look like. Then you take that and you spin it into your media blitz. Be sure to use your local media. Use all of your local papers. Use your memberships to your local business association or the chamber. Be sure to advertise through those guys too, because that gives you more credibility. All right, folks. It has been, I feel like I have to stop and catch my breath now. It has been quite a show talking about event advertising. I will look forward to seeing you all next week. Until then, be unstoppable.
Thank you for being Inspired Choices Network's most valuable asset and for tuning in to Unstoppable. Host Lindy Chaffin Start will return next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central Time, 11 a.m. Mountain Time, and 10 a.m. Pacific Time, with more valuable tips to support you and your small business. Until then, be unstoppable.